begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up uptight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. And men's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night. Engine screaming, fists uptight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody cross the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's begin. Green flag drops on a Sunday night. Engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody cross the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Sunday night, engines screaming, fists up tight, discord popping. Somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap one, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide job sent from outer space. Net code, give it, net code takes. Somebody's yelling in the chat. Who drove through me? Imagine that. White flags flying, hearts beat fast. One more corner, don't lift that gas. 191 is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. Some got skill and some got luck. Some just scream, Scotty, wake up. Admin's watching, finger on mute. Somebody crossed the racing route. 3 laps down, but still we fight. Short track war under neon lights. 191 racing, say it loud. We ain't here to run in a crowd. Get you some, hold it flat. If you spin me, we'll talk about that. That'll do it. Lights come up, so let's be.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the 191 Motorsports here at the penultimate round at Daytona International Raceway. This is going to be an interesting one because really anything can happen on these super speedways, and you take a look at the points coming in, anything can happen in the points as well. It is only an 18-point lead. Actually, sorry, 8-point lead, if I can do some better math, for Mike Casey over Billy Rickett, and then only just a few points back to Zane Bierman, Michael Rakes, and even Matthew Jordan, Andrew Jones, I think still well within the possibility of them coming up there and claiming the points title for the season. But penultimate round means we only got 2 more races left. We got tonight and then the season finale at Las Vegas next week. But I think all eyes are certainly going to be on the championship contenders, as well as quite a few other drivers that would love to sneak up there, get their first win of the season. It's been a lot of parity here this season, which is what we love to see. We had 8 different winners here so far through the through the first 12 races, with only Bryce Saucier, Levi Poland, Zane Bierman, and Mike Casey grabbing multiple wins. But here tonight, could even see a different winner here out there on the track. Carl Hamm, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, I've seen that some of the drivers out there going 3 wide. It seems like the cars are, you know, it's certainly not as wide as the next gen cars, so 3 wide is a possibility. But how much, given the last few weeks here with that the little netcode bubble around, how much are you worried about netcode here tonight?
Well, first, welcome back to Daytona, and obviously a lot of drivers' favorites, and like you said, anything can happen where those points go. But the netcode thing, you know, I had a talk with just a couple of the drivers, and obviously just told them just take your time, give each other space. Getting too close side by side is probably not what you want to do super early on, and take yourself out of the race, or call out a caution when you don't need it yet. So 100 laps, obviously 25 laps, and then the caution, comp caution will come out for these drivers here tonight. So they have to make it 25 laps, and then they got to get in there to get these pit stops. And there's no sense of burning up a fast repair before that, for sure, because nobody's going anywhere here. But as we got the the list up here. We've got the starting order up there on the screen for everybody to see where your favorite driver might be. Patrick Genther is going to be your pole sitter with Matthew Jordan on the front row. Billy Rickett and Tanner McAllister on row number 2. Row number 3, Paul Helms and Michael Rakes. Row number 4, going to be Shane Wielden with Dale Garner Jr. Row 5 is going to be Ken Yule with Travis Noble. 6 is Tony Brennan, Scott Henderson, Michael Casey, and Tristan Miner coming out here tonight. Then on the 7th row. Row number 8 is going to be Robbie Miner and Douglas Ivey. Steve Harris and Chris Perry back on row number 9. And then the rest of the field is going to make up with Richard Hartman and Jason Crispin on row number 10. Zane Bierman back in on the 11th row with Keezy Hardy. Andrew Jones and James Jones back on row number 12. And row number 13, Bryson Anderson and Wade Inyart. So good luck to all the drivers. If you're out there listening, welcome all race fans out there. Renee and Mike's out there, and 80E Dillip, 1108, Barry, Steve Harris is in the field, Brenda, and that's it so far. That's chatting in the window. But yeah, keep up the chat, keep it flowing, and Samantha, and just chiming in there. So don't be afraid to root your favorite driver on, hold a conversation, chime in our conversation, whatever gives us something to do. This is a long one, obviously 100 laps, pretty much a half a race here, Carl.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Tristan Miner out there, but are you shocked at all of who he's starting right there with? You got Tristan Miner, Robbie Miner. It's been a while since we've seen both the Miners out there, but right alongside each other, or they're thereabouts here once again, and I'm sure they're going to hook up together, get some drafting going, because it is time to go racing here at Daytona. Green flag is flying. Penultimate race is underway.
Yeah, not many races left, only one more after this, and this is a big one here for some of these drivers. The chance to maybe get a win, and then some of the other ones a chance to lose a lot of points that are much needed in this close battle here for a championship. And obviously it looks like the inside line getting a nice start. A lot of drivers coming down to the inside here early on, and like we said here, there's no sense of pushing anything. If you're out there on the outside, give room. Maybe find a spot to fall down in, but don't tempt fate yet this early, as that net code has been the whammy monster out there. And it's not something we need here early on this 100 lap race. But first lap by, it's going to be Patrick Gentner out there leading the way here and getting things done. And there's nothing wrong with being in P number 2, at this point, especially Billy Rickett, being able to save that fuel. And couldn't believe being that 43, needs to lead all 25 laps and then kind of, be able to make the pits to make anything happen. But, that pit stop, with Ricky right there, saving fuel, mean that after the caution be out front. So, because the 43 would need to take more fuel. So we'll see. Nobody's driving away here at this track for sure. We know how strong the draft is. It's just all about patience right now, and being able to get around this track. See a couple new paint schemes out there by everybody. Hopefully I got everybody's paints updated. Trade Paints hopefully is playing correctly here tonight. Sometimes it doesn't, so I apologize. But most of the times I get it right about 95% of the time.
Yeah, we do what we can. Sometimes trading paints doesn't work at all. Sometimes it is screwy and brings up old paint schemes and all kinds of stuff no matter what we do. But yeah, either way, definitely some good looking new paint schemes out there. It looks like Casey out there representing the Taco Bell. Hopefully he doesn't have to stop mid-race for any kind of bathroom break or anything like that. But up there I've seen Billy Rickett sporting a new paint scheme on that number 7 as well. Now, if you're one of those 5 drivers that kind of we talked about that are still in the mix for the points, with the comp caution here early on, do you play it even safer? Do you maybe run a couple laps here with the driver, see how it's going, and then maybe find a teammate and drop way to the back, like maybe 5 seconds off the pace here with the rest of the field, because the comp caution is going to bring everybody right back together anyway. So to play it extra safe in the beginning, to make sure that you're good and safe for the end.
I guess it really depends on who you're with right here at the start of the race, and obviously pay attention to how the drivers are kind of acting. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, and hopefully drivers listen a little bit. But when you're going into these corners, Carl, you got that draft. You don't need to hold the throttle to the floorboard. If you just lift just a little bit, that car will wrap down right around the bottom here, just like Dale Earnhardt Jr. is doing. He's not floating up at all. There's no weaving or bobbing by number 31 for that corner, and just able to kind of get right there and right in the back bumper there of Ken Yule, and just pay attention to how close he is to the person in front of him, because you don't want to do any pushing of another pusher. So it gets a little tricky back here. A little bit of a pack. You just need to stay off the back of the car about 3-4 feet and hold your own. But looking good so far. We're on lap number 6. Patrick Gettner is out front. Billy Rickett, Paul Helms, Michael Rakes, and Shane Whelan right now are your drivers up in the top 5. And then obviously starting to shuffle around. Matthew Jordan, Ken Yule, Tanner McAllister, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Tristan Minor all kind of working around here. I did see the 34 scrape the wall a little bit earlier, but seems to be doing okay right now. That was Chris Perry. Beats down in the inside, getting away from that wall here early on.
We don't talk to Chris Perry tonight. We'll talk to him next week, as he is next week's in-race reporter. You notice we didn't have one here tonight. Unfortunately, the driver, well, let's hold that thought right there, as we got an incident here coming out of turn number 4. Definitely seen a car sideways there, seen some more getting involved. We'll take a look back here and see what happened on this one. Right up there towards the front. Yes. Seeing somebody gets, I think it was maybe Scruffy getting spun at the front of the field here.
Yeah, let's do this. I'll take a look at Scruffy. He's up there on the outside, number 23, second car back, and you can see him up there near the wall. But doesn't get into it here, but it is on the exit. But the car in front of him is a little bit loose.
I think it's the 17 that ends up getting into him. And he talked about lifting in the corners here, bump drafting in the corners. If it's at the end of the race and you're trying to make that last final push, okay, I get it. I get the the want to, but early on in the race, even middle of the race, I don't advise bumping in the corners, even if the cars can take it. You're just asking for something bad to happen. As you see, even towards the end there, Zane Bierman gets into Scott Henderson. He gets sent down to the inside. Hard impact for the 72. Surprised that wasn't a meatball on that one. Looks like Bryson Anderson, Tristan Minor, both picking up meatballs on this incident right here. You see the 3 of Andrew Jones turned around backwards as well. So bit of a rough one here on lap number 6. But one thing that's good, I wasn't sure if he was going to make it here tonight, but Big Daddy is in attendance. He'll hopefully get these drivers in line, so to speak, and try and get this thing underway. I know last week we had to do a little admitting from the booth when there was some issues with what iRacing was saying compared to what the drivers are doing. But early caution here. He's going to bring, looks like about half the field down into pit lane. Most likely the cars involved in that incident, getting some new tires, getting some fuel, switching up here a little bit. But as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by the drivers deciding to wreck, was that no in-race reporter here tonight, not in attendance. So we were absent of one here tonight. But judging by a little conversation I had with our in-race reporter from last week, TJ Garner, he's not sure if he wants to be an in-race reporter at all anymore from the rough race that he had at Homestead. He's like, I don't think it pays. It's not worth it, so I'm not doing it. So maybe going with the blaming the broadcaster's curse for his bad luck at Homestead. It wouldn't be the first time, Jimmy.
Yeah, we've had it the other way around, though, Carl. I mean, we've had it where we had the in-race reporter and they won like 7 or 8 times in a row. It was pretty ridiculous, so to speak. And obviously, that was quite a while ago. But yeah, it's a kind of just something they don't want to participate in as well. Just kind of look forward to get up here and give people a shout out. But you never know. Obviously, it's not everybody is a huge people person and wants to talk to the fans out there, or even us sometimes. But they do love racing. But right now we are on lap number 8. First caution of the race is out there for a little bit of a bump draft in the corner gone bad. and is going to wrap up a few people, going to push them to the back of the field, and it's a tough break there for Scruffy Jordan, still in the pits trying to get not use that fast repair and get that car kind of taken care of by the field here. And where is my track map? Sorry about that, fellas. But yeah, they're out here, and here comes the field now, so hopefully he is able to kind of get down and get away here and not go a lap down. I mean, if he's the only lap down, it's not too bad of an idea, but something you want to be careful with in the long run, because you know you have the comp caution, so you can't go a lap down and stay there and maybe get all that damage repaired. But you know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation, you know, going laps down. It does look like everybody didn't make it back out, so those drivers working their way around the field, the 98, the 3, the 21, and the 23, all kind of hightailing it, you know, trying to get around and get to the back of the field before they go back to green. They are too wide, and obviously the cautions are a little lengthy here, about 2 minutes per lap, you know, vice the 45 seconds. So a big difference, you know, when they're under caution. 100 laps at 2 minutes apiece. I mean, we'll be here quite some time. We don't want to do yellows all night long, that's for sure. So hopefully we'll learn from the mistakes and no pushing the pusher in the corners for sure. And we'll get this thing rolling here once again.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in here tonight. See, we got a good-sized crowd out there once again, nice and chatty, the way we like to see it. If you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsors, One Vision EMS and Transports. I want to thank Kim's Cups and More and Beyond the Edge. Extra shout out to Kim's Cups and More. As I got another shirt in here tonight from winning in another league that they sponsor, and another good looking t-shirt that'll definitely go into the rotation to go along with last week. Exactly. I told the league owner
start throwing your wife's clothes away.
I told Daniel Pinkston, who happens to be the league owner over there, I'm like, listen, you know, feel free to tell Kim to put the shirts on hold. You know, if we're not going to get some more drivers in there and more of the fast drivers that we had in the beginning of the season, you know, feel free to tell her to put it on hold and send me one shirt that has, you know, all the tracks on there, or whatever I win for the rest of the season, instead of wasting the shipping and everything going to the same place every time.
I like a serious shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So either way, we're back underway here at Daytona, and interesting to see how this thing is going to play out until we get to that comp caution, and hopefully we stay caution free until then, as we're looking to complete lap number 10 here. Still not even halfway to the comp caution, so a lot of driving yet to do. It looks like it's going to get passed here by Billy Rickett. New race leader is the 7, and certainly Rickett would love to pick up a win here late in the season, close him in a little bit more on Mike Casey, who, currently is back there in 9th spot, as we see Tony Brennan go up there and smack the wall. Not sure if he got some help there or what the case was back there, but a hard smack to the wall for the 65. I don't see any meatball, so it's a good thing, but maybe some more damage that's got to get repaired on the 65.
Yeah, I think you'll see some of the drivers towards the back starting to give themselves a little space. Like, all right, boys, we're back here. Let's just single file, get a second and a half back, and just kind of stay a single file and not push any issues, and just ride this thing out to the end of the comp caution. And you know, it's kind of the motto. You know, you get teammates here. I know everybody loves, you know, obviously racing and they want to win. You got to make it to the end. And a small mistake there in the middle of this thing could really hinder or, you know, not give you that opportunity. And you know, sitting right there, Tristan scraping the wall just a little bit there in that Lego machine, trying to you know, keep that momentum going, maybe get around Scruffy. And it's kind of hard when you're the last guy. It's like, you know, you get that run, and the only momentum you get is to kind of pop out and maybe snag onto somebody's draft to work your way around. It's probably the toughest spot to be, and not always the safest, because sometimes, depending on how well you're working with like a person in front of you or pushing, and you could find yourself turning them, and then you're by yourself. So You just got to be careful. But we do have a small group back here with Tanner McAllister leading. And at number 17 here with the 72 of Scotty Henderson, Bryson Anderson, Andrew Jones, and Wade Inyard. So this is not a bad place to be, especially knowing that there's a comp caution. These drivers will just, stay nose to tail in a nice single file line, and they'll be just as fast as this big group here that's 2x2. So as they are continue to kind of work their way around and see if they can maybe move to the front. Maybe that's what they want to do, lead a lap or something. But we are on now lap 13. So 13 more laps to go, and we will be there at the end, or of the concussion at the end. I wish.
And that's kind of what I talked about with some of the drivers, deciding to drop them back way off the pace. Right now they're almost 3.5 seconds behind the main pack right here, but it's plenty of time to get checked up. If there's an incident in this main pack, they can slow it up and avoid the incident very easily from being back there. And really, you don't even have to be fast. You can lose time to this field lap after lap. If you want to go side by side instead of single file, you can do that if you want to. All you have to do is just stay on the lead lap for the next 13 laps. And unless you're really slow back there, it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, even if you're a single car right now, you'd probably be able to stay on the lead lap until this comp caution. Now, once you get past the comp caution, there's no other scheduled cautions, and then it changes a little bit. But for now, just do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm not sure that was a comfortable move there for Chris Perry, but he finds his way to the bottom. I mean, it's one way to get from the top to the bottom. It just stays left.
He missed that hole and almost kept on going, but was able to kind of get up there. Probably a good thing it wasn't in the middle of the corner. You know how unsettling these cars get going down on the apron up onto the banking, which is pretty steep here, and can really toss that car around. So just seemed to be an erratic move, but I'm sure he didn't even seem like he turned the wheel very much.
Looks like the drivers may be settling in here a little bit, which is certainly a good thing. Again, all we got to do is just get to that comp caution another 10 laps from now. Want to thank, once again, Big Daddy Pixon out there, and I believe Little Daddy maybe helping out again here tonight, and could be setting the stage for maybe Big Daddy to get back out on the track next season as well. Maybe going to be taking over the adminning duties, letting Big Papa get back out there on the track and see what he can do out there in the number 22. But for now, he's up there. Keep an eye on the rest of the field right now. Everyone, all 26, all on the lead lap, exactly where they want to be. I'm sure some drivers still got some damage that they're going to have to get repaired. Don't want to use that fast repair anytime, let alone early on in this race. Certainly not before the comp caution. Maybe at the comp caution if you really feel like you're off pace, but I don't see any one car that can at least stick with the draft for now. So if you can save that till a later pit stop in this race, it's definitely the optimal thing to do.
Drivers now working out of turn number 2 down the backstretch, right on board with TJ. Because he doesn't want to talk to us no more, so we're gonna give him some extra camera time.
So we're really trying to give him the broadcaster's curse. Yeah, all right, gotcha. We do have a change for the lead, kind of going back and forth as that outside line starting to pick up a little momentum as Douglas Ivey was peeking out front there a couple times. And look who's behind him. The 6 of Mike Casey made it up there. He was back there 9th last time we took a look. Now he's up there 2nd in line on the outside, so kind of right around that 4th, 5th position right now, but not exactly keeping straight on the outside is the other 33 and the 6. Not sure how the bumping's going right there. Getting her kind of peeks out there a little bit. One thing we haven't talked about, if you haven't talked about it in a couple super speedway races, is the chance of these engines overheating from pushing too much. It looks like they're giving each other plenty of room. It's not, they're not sticking bumper to bumper here and doing the push traffic all the way around the track. And that could be by design. You want to keep those engines as cool as possible. Last thing you want to do is just randomly blow up, especially if you're one of these cars towards the front, because we've seen it before where, 2nd or 3rd car in line blows up. Nobody obviously behind them knows unless they've seen that puff of smoke, and all of a sudden it's a huge wreck.
Yeah, one of the things I remember doing while doing open races where you could have your own setup is adjust that tape and pretty much close it off, Carl. Just no air at all. and your car would be good for your qualifying laps, and any more after that, the car would just blow up. So talk about pushing things to the limit, and it was just finding, you know, what you could get away with, especially for things like qualifying. And then obviously before you start the race, you take that tape back off. But that's something that, you know, obviously they do in real life too. They're out there by themselves, and you don't I mean, there's little adjustments that people just don't think about too much, and tape is one of them. And what I mean about tape is they close off them that airflow that goes inside of the engine to cool it down. So, you know, the more tape there's less airflow, which means the car will overheat pretty quickly. So I just got to tempt fate there and get your qualifying lap in, and usually it would be faster, obviously, but that water temperature spikes right up there pretty quickly, trying to put all this horsepower down. But you see the outside gaining a little bit of momentum here. You know, nobody's super organized. Obviously, the draft is just too strong here for anybody to kind of run away. And this is the side-by-side battling that you know, they like. You know, right now, giving each other room. There's no three wide. And I'm actually kind of surprised that we haven't seen it yet. And a couple cars bobbling around just a little bit.
Bring it up. It's like Beetlejuice.
Well, we are on lap
it.
21. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decides to, like, hey, I want to win. I want to be in first place when that comp caution comes out, and you know, decide to try something. So, you know, or will they just ride it out here and just it is what it is, take that comp caution and go about your business. But right now, Billy Rickett is leading with number 43 of Patrick Gentner, pushing at the 33 of Douglas Ivey. Paul Helms even getting thrown in there right now, and Shane Yilden for your top 5. Michael Casey sitting back there still in top 10, along with Chris Perry, James Jones, and Michael Rakes with Zane Bierman.
Yeah, for Henry out there, I'm not sure if Mike's cheating in the sense that he's getting some speed from that Taco Bell. Certainly, he's lighter. I'm sure he's lighter. So obviously, lighter is faster. So you go to Taco Bell enough, you're probably gonna be nice and light in that car and be able to go faster that way. So I guess in that aspect, yes, maybe a little cheating going on there for the 6 of Mike Casey. But either way. We're clicking off these laps, getting closer to comp caution here tonight, which we're going to be flying at right around at lap number 25 as usual, and we'll group these cars back up. But we're looking forward to seeing not just how this race goes through the motions here and gets our winner and everything like that, but really just constantly keeping an eye on where those points leaders are. Really kind of the top 6 in points coming in here tonight. Obviously, Andrew Jones, one of them, caught up in that early incident, as was Matthew Jordan. Rakes, I didn't see him involved in it, but definitely seen the 55 of Zane Bierman banged up a little bit on the side of his car. And then you have right here Mike Casey, Billy Rickett, top 2 in points, and pretty much top 2 on the track right now. Billy Rickett leading the inside line, and you got Mike Casey second line on the outside. So it's kind of your update of your top 6 in the points as we get one more lap closer to the comp caution.
Here as they cross the line for the start lap number 24, and next time by the comp caution will come out. It's usually when they throw at the start of lap number 25. Right now your leader is Douglas Ivey, and kind of on that top side, it's got some nice push going with Mike Casey sitting back there, and Zane Bierman sitting right there as well, along with the 76 of James Jones. So yeah, so they're able to kind of go from that top side to those sides, take away Billy Rickett here being out towards the front, and most drivers don't care right now, but coming around the start finish line here as it's out, but I think they'll wait till the final pack of cars comes across here, and we should see the comp caution come out unless they wait. So
that might be the completion lap number 25 at the end of the wall, and this is going to bring out a caution regardless, as we got several cars out there end of the wall, and I got some more spin on the backstretch. Great save there. I'm not sure who that was on the backstretch, but I did see a great save, and I think it was a 64 there, Paul Helms. So definitely want to give him a shout out. But here's what happened into turn number 1. The Bierman went to look to go to the outside, and I think got scared of the 76 drifting up there a little bit, gets into the wall. The 98 checks up to try and avoid him, but he gets shoved kind of right into the 55. And that's how this all transpires right here as you see some of the cars diving and trying to get out of the way. Travis Noble might have just got checked up enough with the 31 coming down there. But the 98 of Jason Chrisman, haven't really talked much about him so far tonight, but he's going to go sliding right past our cameras here on the backstretch.
Yeah, she's 65 and 134 getting together. I don't know if that was a net code as they were down on the lower side as well. So 134 got to go for a ride to the wall as well. And I think he hits pretty hard. I don't think he's able to stay off it. So heavy damage there for the 134. See 65 still trying to catch this thing. It's obviously pretty hard to, save, but does a good job and keeping it off the wall. Just kind of some angry tires there for the 65, but I guess just in time. Comp caution, regular caution is out, and drivers will be down to get the vehicle serviced. Now, Carl, is this kind of a big question? We got Zane Bierman obviously in there with a meatball from that one, and Steve Harris with a meatball for hitting the wall hard, and burning up a fast repair on a caution that was going to happen anyway. So kind of stinks for those two drivers. We'll need to get that stuff kind of fixed and back out there. But here comes the field coming down into pit road. Is led by number 33 of Douglas Ivy. But everybody is coming in. I don't think anybody will stay out. That is 100% correct. Every single car will come in and pits.
Yeah, so nice and quiet right now at Daytona, but typically the meatball flags would get cleared by race control, but I'm guessing they figure, well, they're coming in here. They know that they're going to have some required damage, and they're probably going to use a fast repair anyway, but I don't know if that's the case. I still see a meatball flag there for Zane Bierman, and same thing for Steve Harris. I think Harris may have turned back to the pits because of the heavy damage there, but Douglas Ivy is going to lead them back out onto the track. Mike Casey, Patrick Gentner, Shane Wheeldon, and Paul Helms for your top 5. Then James Jones, looks like Michael Rakes, Dale Garner Jr., Robbie Minor, Chris Perry, Richard Hartman completing that top 10 right now. It looks like Chris Perry had a bit of an incident here leaving pit road.
Go check it out, because sometimes you got to leave and you get on the gas and to check up, got a little too excited, and 31 bumped him around there, so just a little bump, and around he goes here. As he was exiting pit road, but we'll get that thing going back forward, so hopefully not too much damage between those vehicles. But yeah, Carl, it's obviously a busy time pit road. Got plenty of racing still remaining. We're on lap number 27, so 60-some laps to go. I think they still have to make at least one pit stop, and I would like to see that, but when it comes out, not sure. I would say somewhere probably 40 to 50 laps or whatever their fuel mileage is here tonight, and kind of get things going. And yeah, just another time to kind of sit and wait and see how things kind of play out. But I'm sure drivers are going to continue to try to move through the field, make moves, and because it's racing, and it's like we say, it's super hard to get in that area to just kind of chill for 100 laps, especially at a place like Daytona.
Yeah, it's real easy to say, just be patient, and you got 75 laps, and then just chill out for a little bit. But you tell a racer to do that, it's not as easy. And sometimes here at Daytona at the super speedways, you can let the car breathe, and it's not going to really change the handling too much. I know for me, when it comes to the road courses, when I try and get off and try and baby it a little bit more, that's when I have more of a chance of having an incident. I don't know if it's just not having the same downforce by being that much faster on the throttle, or going through the corners a little bit faster, and gets you a little bit more downforce and just handles differently. But here on the super speedways, your handling is your handling, and technically you can probably go through this whole race here without taking any kind of tires. Now, tires do give you a little bit not necessarily better grip, but the car doesn't seem like it dances around as much as it does on older tires. So I guess, all in all, the grip is a little bit better on newer tires. So you'll see drivers take tires certainly under cautions. In green flag conditions, you have to talk with your teammates, your friends, whoever you've been drafting with, because the last thing you want to do is come in there with a group of 5-6 other drivers. All of a sudden you're there getting 4 tires, they're pulling away, which is fuel only, and all of a sudden you're stuck there by yourself.
Yeah, that's one way to kind of let somebody out too. Like, oh, we're gonna get 4 tires. Yep, sure. And everybody takes 2 tires or just fuel and rolls out, leave you hanging. So be like, all right, I got your number. Okay, hopefully a caution don't come out, because could come down to the end where they need a push, and yeah, I'm not pushing them at all. I'll take somebody else's and push them instead. So, but we're back under green. Here's on lap number 20, start of lap number 29. Right on board with Bryce and Anderson as they head down into turn number 1. Let's hope for I think it's 61 or 71 lap run here. It'll be great to see you at the end.
I'm just getting a word there. I see in the chat that Harris having 8 minutes of damage to repair, and I'm guessing no fast repair to do it. So that's going to be a rough one, certainly for the 134. As indeed we're back underway. Douglas Ivy, your leader, out front right now. Some cars dancing around here as we're getting up to full speed. It takes about a full lap with the drafting here to get up to your top speed here tonight, and top speed is in the top 190s here, and then certainly you can see some drivers going over 200 in the draft and running up on people as well. It's not exactly a slow race around here. I know riding on board, and even sometimes with some of the TV cameras, it seems like it takes forever, and it's a while to get on that track, and it is a good 50 seconds to get around, 45 to 50 seconds to get around this track, which seems like a long time for an oval, but you're doing it at 200 miles an hour. I mean, it's nothing to shake a stick at, for sure.
Yeah, the speed's always been a thing, and I know over the years in real in the NASCAR circuit they talk about. I know the big thing is reducing the size of the wing on the back, and reducing horsepower. So basically, less drag in the car, less horsepower, but it's supposed to be the same as far as speed goes, but it's supposed to be faster single car speed, so maybe that driver won't go down his lap as fast, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one to see what that's like in real life, and how that all turns out for him. I don't follow it too much, but Shane Wheel did get a little wicked down there, down on the apron, getting pushed by Douglas Ivy. Back there at P-3, Paul Holmes sitting in 4th with Mike Casey sitting in 6th, following Dale Gardini in 5th.
As a prime example of what we say, you don't want to push that second car in line if you're the third car in line, or even further back. It's hard enough as that second car in line to line your bumper up correctly with that car in front of you, because if that car in front of you moves just a smidge to the left, smidge to the right, you got to be able to almost kind of predict that and line your bumper up with them to get a good push. Now, if you're the third car in line, you got to predict 2 cars, what they're going to do in front of you, and more often than not, that's where trouble comes into play. But they all survived that one for now. Certainly maybe not a brown pants moment, but a pucker moment for sure here early on. But right now it is your pole sitter, Patrick Gentner, back out in the lead. Then Shane Weldon in second place right now, up 5 spots here from the start. Douglas Ivy up 13 spots, he's up in 3rd. Chris Perry up 14 spots in 4th. Paul Holmes started 5th, running 5th right now. James Jones, the biggest mover right now, up 17 spots as he just loses a spot here. It's Dale Gardner Jr., Mike Casey, Robbie Minor, Richard Hartman, and the 3rd for your top 10.
Wrong button.
I was going to say, did my computer just crash? Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see.
I got 1,000,001 buttons to choose from, folks. I have all the buttons I pressed, the pause button.
It's his first time, folks. You gotta be easy with him. It's his first broadcast here. But either way,
mouse, I need to get rid of it. It's a Walmart special on.
nice.
It's like $10. Needed something that was wired. I had a wireless one here sitting on the rig, and every now and then I'd bump it. The dang thing would go flying. Next thing you know, it's back in the corner. I can't reach it. I was like, yeah, no, let me put this thing on a cable wire so if it falls off, I can at least grab it.
Yeah.
I could probably go with a wireless keyboard, but a wireless mouse, not so much. I need that thing to be attached somehow, some way, shape, or form, for just that reason. Especially when you're racing and you're trying to click something, with your mouse while you're driving, which is highly unrecommended. You're looking for that little straightaway or whatever, so you can do a couple clicks and do stuff. I got most of the stuff mapped on my steering wheels for the cars, but and I got this beautiful button box that my wife bought me quite a few years ago now, and I got plenty of buttons on it to do those things. But last time I had it did anything with the buttons, and never reloaded them all back since I rebooted my computer, like wiped the computer after I got all the new parts. So a lot of them are empty again, and I think I set one I thought was to clear the tires and stuff like that. Well, it shuts the car off, so that was an interesting one. The car shuts off, and I'm over here flicking some other buttons trying to get it started again in the middle of a race. Yeah, that was not what I was looking for. Good thing I was not in a position to, I lost a little bit of time because I was just coasting, but definitely was not in a position to wreck somebody, but like I would be here. I can only imagine if I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna not take tires. I hit the button, shut my car off, and I'm like Mike Casey. Next thing you know, I'm checking off the whole field. I got a good old accordion effect going on before I could reach over and hit the other button and hopefully restart the car without it messing up too much. And somebody would have wrecked, caused a caution just because of trying to take the tires off here. There's just too many. There's so many buttons that you can set up, and you don't have the toggles. You don't have a full dashboard in front of you that the drivers in these cars have. So you're doing everything possible to be able to click those and do that. Or for as far as tires go, you're radioing into your crew chief like, hey, I need 4 or I need 2 or don't put any on or whatever you need to give me half a tank of gas, whatever it may be. So. And usually the crew chief's in charge of all that stuff anyways, but when you're the only one driving, you gotta make all those decisions yourself. They do have some stuff that's automated, which makes it a little bit easier, but sometimes not always the best choice. You try to set all your automatic settings to overfill you by like a quarter of a lap, so you can push that car. You don't have to worry about saving fuel. I have a tendency to leave it at 1 over the max, so that way I make sure that I don't run out of fuel. That's probably the most embarrassing, cutting it close and losing it as you cross the start-finish line.
You sure it's not the car blowing up after you just sat there in the pits getting like 7 minutes of repairs and left the car running and it blows up? You sure it's not that kind of embarrassing? Because I would hate for that person to have that happen. And I don't know who would be dumb enough for that to happen. So I think that button to shut off the car probably wouldn't be a bad idea for said person.
Mine's a toggle switch. It's like a fire button. It's got a guard on it and everything. So like if it's down, the car's off. When it goes up, but when I hit the button, I had to click that down and then pull up the guard on it and flip the switch back on to turn the car on. I didn't have to run the starter or because of the start-stop button. I didn't have to hit that button, but actually it's just an engine start button. But I didn't have to do that. But yeah, I was surprised. This button box has been lit up for probably about 5 years now. I got it off of Etsy, and whoever made it did a pretty good job. I don't like they have a big old brake bias button and I used to have my brake bias on it, but it's not super tactile feeling, so it's hard to feel like the clicks, so if I only want to go up 1, and I reach over there and I turn this dial, it might go none or 3 or 5, because I can't feel the button, so I leave that one. One of my main buttons here on my steering wheel, and that's use this wheel that I've had from Sim Magic now for almost going on 6 years, and I use it pretty much daily. It's tactile as all can be. There's no not knowing that I made a click, and I can hear it even through my headphones. When I have them on, I can hear it, I can feel it. Just all around, probably one of the best wheels out there that I've got. I didn't know much about these things when I bought it. I was like, oh, that's nice carbon fiber, and it's got. I don't know why you need quad paddles. I don't drive them type of cars, but yep, I got those too. They got all kinds of extra stuff on this GT4 wheel from Sim Magic, and I don't ever regret getting it for sure, because it's my most favorite wheel.
So far, so good here since the Cup caution. The driver's doing a fantastic job. And pretty much all in one grouping here, except for a few that are falling pretty far back, as they're about 16 and a half seconds back right now. Zane Bierman, Michael Rakes, and Wade Enyart are kind of running their own race. Steve Harris back out there on the track after getting his repairs, but he is, I believe, 9 laps down here, and could very well soon be 10 laps down with the field getting a little bit closer to him. He's got nobody to draft with, but the car certainly looks a little bit better and a lot more drivable for sure, as Patrick Gentner, Shane Wheeldon, Paul Helms, Dale Garner Jr., Mike Casey for your top 5. Then you got Richard Hartman, Douglas Ivey, James Jones, Tanner McAllister, Chris Perry for your top 10. So far, so good here, Jimmy. I haven't seen what you mentioned earlier. I'm not going to say it here, but getting close to it there, as it looked like Robbie Minor was about to do it on cue, but he's going to slide down the inside right in front of the 3 of Andrew Jones. We haven't seen a lack of drivers drop it down very fast from that top line to get down to the bottom, but what I have seen some drivers get involved in some netcode, and not with each other. I've seen a few cars get close to the wall, but in my opinion, not into the wall. I've seen some sparks go flying. I'm not sure if there's any kind of damage right there. As now, just on cue, Chris Perry does get into the wall, slows up that outside line here a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to be careful with that. I mean, obviously it wasn't enough to slow him down, but I've seen that. I think the 98 kind of checking up just a little bit as you see him go up and tag the wall. You can see kind of the cars just snaking around a little bit while I'm on board here with Tony Brennan. You can see the line in front of him, and you can see how Tony kind of drifted up just a little bit, thinking to go to the outside, and now he's going to make that move and try to get past a few drivers being in that draft. He's got like a nice long area here to catch up to the back of Kent Yule in the number 19. But you can see how fast he closes them. They just obviously lifting so he doesn't go up into the wall. You'd lose all that air off the front there. You would have been like super tight, would have pushed right up there. So smart move there by Tony Brennan, to kind of not to keep himself out of that situation, getting up there and just scraping the wall, and then you can lose momentum or bounce off it. But the drivers are going to go around. Steve Harris up there in the wall. Now he's up there trying to let the field go by, trying to stay out of the way. He can't be down on the apron in the middle of the corner, so he's doing his best to stay high.
Yeah, it's tough when you're there a lap car by yourself and trying to do the right thing, but they're bearing down a 2x2x2 right on you. Luckily, not 3 wide there as they came around him. So he does exactly what he needs to do. He can't just all of a sudden slow down so much that you can use the apron. You want to try and keep some momentum because you want to get the draft from the back end of that pack, and that's where it looks like he's going to try and pull down and do so here. Try and get the draft of Travis Noble off the back of this pack right now. But you see, it looks like that car just a little bit too damaged, and I'm not sure if this is full speed here. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's full speed here for Steve Harris or not, but he is well off the pace right now as he is running about 172 liters right now, just over 200. Fastest driver here of the race so far. I did see earlier that the 98 had a 211 mile an hour. time at one point. I don't know why SDK kind of keeps switching it around. I seen him at 211. This last time here, I just seen if it was Andrew Jones had a 209. So there's some pretty fast speeds out here tonight. But luckily, for the most part, other than the caution that ended up being the comp caution, and we had an earlier caution there as well around lap number 6. It's been nice and green since we went back to green flag racing after the comp caution.
And that we're here on lap 47, so working our way through halfway through this race, and a few cautions kind of interrupting the show. Besides, well, the one was the comp caution, but the other one before that. So just a couple cautions here, and you know, it's actually they're on a pretty good pace right now to get this thing done here at a reasonable hour, and you know, not have to stay in them cars for 4 or 5 hours. It would definitely be a long time out there. Obviously, they opened the session up to a maximum of 3 hours and 25 minutes. I'm only 45 minutes in, so about half that time. But definitely, they left enough time on the clock, Carl. If this thing were to be a caution fest, to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, luckily, not the case here, and we're cruising along here nicely. I want to once again give a shout out to everyone out there that was tuning in. I think I seen up over 30 a couple of times here tonight, right down into 18, but plenty of chatter out there, as again, I'd love to see. Not sure who let who let Big Daddy out of the booth, but he's got nothing admin right now. He's been keeping it nice and green for sure, and doing a good job out there. Kentner seems like he is more than happy to be out front right now. The only thing we haven't talked about though is that lead car out there burning all that fuel for everybody else. Does he have some partners that he can come into the pits with when it does come to that time? Because right now, you know, he could be a lap, 2 laps, or even 3 laps shorter than everybody else.
Yeah, he's using a lot more. I mean, they sit there in that draft like Shane Wheeldon's doing right now. Obviously, do what he needs to do, you know, saving fuel. But 43 will need to come down. If he doesn't have any friends in the field, if Shane and the gang don't feel like going with him, he has to come in. And, you know, it's either relinquish what you got and slide back a spot or two. You know, maybe, you know, me personally, I don't know, maybe run to the high side a little bit, allow that inside line to take over, and then if there's a gap, try to come back down and then just kind of move things around and just kind of get in that spot. But right now they're just dancing right behind. Shane Wheeldon pushing you know, the best he can there with the 43, but some like movement from the 20, so just got to be careful how you line up on that back bumper and make sure you don't bump and turn at the same time, and next thing you know, the car's going to end up going flying around. But 76, the outside line, getting a little bit of momentum, maybe the 76, not quite here. You'd have to get a little better run here and then that. Looking to try to get the lead here, but still battle on that outside. So the outside, obviously not as big and not as put together as the inside line at the moment, but still kind of enough to keep the pace going and staying alongside. You see another car falling down there, and now even the outside line getting even a little bit less, Carl. And I'm just kind of wondering if I know they can make it, not the rest of the way, but wondering if you know, team or drivers are starting to maybe get with their teammates, you know, that or partners that they want to run with. And you can see the 43 gladly allowing the 76 to take over this lead here, as he's going to walk by. Got to put James Jones out front here. We're here at Daytona, you know, just past the halfway mark. Since Carl, I think since we've made it past the halfway mark, it's time for a little bit. I love to hear it. Let these drivers continue knocking out some of these laps.
Sights and sounds here, the 191 Motorsports, as we are under caution, get ready to go back to green. Potty breaks are over. Hopefully these drivers don't need to have a potty break, because they ain't got a chance to unless they wreck the car out here before the end of this thing. We're down to 34 laps left in this race. Pit stops are done. Patrick Kentner is going to be your leader here again on this restart. Douglas Ivey, James Jones, Shane Wheeldon, Tanner McAllister for your top 5. Jason Chrisman, Paul Helms, Dale Gardner Jr., Mike Casey, Chris Perry for your top 10. Update on some of your playoff drivers as they sit. Again, coming in, it was Mike Casey on top of the boards. He is up there in 9th position right now. Billy Rickett, 2nd place in the points. He is back in 14th. Zane Bierman back in 17th. Michael Rakes is back in, just lost him. I thought I just seen him. There he is, right in front of Zane Bierman in 16th. And then Matthew Jordan is up in 13th with Andrew Jones back there in 24th. But I'm sure now we may start seeing some jockeying around here a little bit. Still plenty early in this race. We're not even close to go time just yet, but getting on that throttle here to get these cars back going is not exactly easy, as you've seen, but somehow we all get away right now.
Yeah, just jumped on board with Andrew Jones, and he immediately lifted and shifted. Now hopefully he can get that momentum, get back up there. Don't want to lose the draft now. I mean, the odds of it going green the rest of the way are usually slim to none here at this point in the race. Obviously, plenty of racing still to be had. 33 laps remaining here, and you know, you want to be cautious, but not too cautious. You don't want to put yourself where you can't catch the pack. You want to be able to kind of be able to sniff, be able to get that draft, stay back there. If you like to be in the back, but you don't want to lose the main pack. To do that, you're going to need a caution. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're back here solo, you know, Andrew Jones back here in 24th right now with Bryson Anderson behind him. It's probably I'm positive Bryson. Glad that Andrew's back here, so he's got at least somebody to hang out with to not be at normal speed. But you see right here, it's going to take these two to kind of stay up there and work together. And Bryson's going to have to push, to kind of try to get it right, but just obviously push down the straights, go through the corners, kind of keep things going, and stay within that main pack. But far enough back to stay safe. So it's just kind of a dangerous area. This field can walk away here. I have a feeling that the drivers can make it the rest of the way. So my hopes of green flag pit stops tonight were shot in the dust by spotter no clip or not calling out a no clear call. Maybe the iRacing spotter is not always 100% correct, but there is tools in iRacing now. If you don't know, you can bring up some widgets, and you get these nice fancy little lights that tells you when somebody's right or left, and you can make them as big as small as you want.
You want it, but no.
And kind of get things, your awareness of your surroundings. If you're like me here, if I hit, I don't have it set up on this keyboard, but you can set up arrows or buttons so you can look left and right if you're on single monitor. There's all kinds of things. It's kind of weird that when you do use that left and right, you really take, because you're used to looking forward and not out the side screens. But if you have triples or don't have triples, that's one way to do it. Another thing I've seen online, and I don't know how well it works, but I shared it with somebody in the field. They were using it for a farming simulator game, so they were on an ultra wide. I think they had triple monitor setup, but when he turned his head, using your camera, and or phone, you can track your eyes, so you can move. You can move, so even more coverage. So if you turn your head just a little bit.
It intrigued me. I don't know if I could get. I mean, it's almost kind of like VR without the VR. It definitely intrigued me seeing that and seeing the eye recognition from the phone. I thought was kind of crazy. But I mean, I don't know how well that would work with iRacing, at least for me, because I know if it's tracking my eyes are not just focused forward when I'm racing.
No.
My eyes are darting all over the place, back and forth, looking at the relative, looking at my mirror, looking at the side of the car, both sides. I don't know how that would work with the eye tracking and how just ripping back and forth it would be on my side.
I mean, I know the video broadcast. We have the video series card. They have an application on the video broadcast where you have your camera on, and basically, even if I'm not looking at the camera, it looks like I'm looking at the camera. It's kind of freaky, to be honest, but you can be doing whatever you want. But so I mean, there is eye tracking technology out there, and there was something that I thought about getting a long time ago when I was just running an ultra wide, and that was they have like you can wear a hat, and then you put a little sensor on your hat, and there's a bar, and if you turn your head a little bit, I mean, obviously you got to adjust it so it's not like so bad, like this, the screen goes 180 or like a quarter inch. So, but it was allowed to to give you that view that you want to see, what's out your right side, what's out your left side. Obviously with the triples, your main focus is on the main screen, but you got that peripheral vision, that somebody's out there. It's not your wall. But another caution is going to come out. This one here is going to involve, it looks like Steve Harris, Tristan Minor, and this one here. So, Steve not having the race he needs here tonight. We'll go back and take a look to see what happened here. And net code off the 26 into the 134, and takes the 134 and 26 to the wall. So, we talked about it here tonight. It's stayed away, but this one here was actually kind of a large. I'll stop this. I'll just play it again. It was actually a pretty large net code there. You can see the 134 on the outside. The Lego machine is the 26, and you can see that the 134. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he was thinking about falling in that bottom line, and then the 26 just drifted up a little bit, and then right there, the net code just kind of took over, and because the 134 was not clear, but brings the 26 up there. So tough break for the 134. Not the night that he was having. Already laps down, and I'm sure that usually doesn't sit well with the other drivers, and even though they're out there trying to race, and, trying to at least give them the opportunity to maybe get a lap back or two here and there, but sure you don't want to be involved in another caution. But here we are with 26 laps to go here at Daytona with another caution. And it'll kind of be interesting to see who does what here, Carl. Is anybody going to come down the pits? Are they going to stay out? I think they're good to go for fuel the rest of the way, but do they have enough fuel if they, have some green, white checker attempts here tonight? And that, it's not out of the realm of things happening for sure. But obviously, you don't want it to happen, but it does look like Douglas Labby's showing to come down here. Will he come down? Nope, fake out here for the field, trying to get some of those drivers to come down the pits here, but nobody fooled here tonight. Only a few drivers back in the back, and that's usually pretty common. Whether they got some repairs need to be taken care of and whatnot, but going to bring in Michael Rakes, Wade in here, to Andrew Jones, Bryson Anderson, Tristan Minor, of course, and Steve Harris to kind of get those fixes here on those cars here for the end of the race. Hopefully they don't have to use a fast repair. They're just getting some tires, making sure they got enough fuel to the end. Like you said, sometimes the tires can benefit you just a little bit. We're going to find out, because Michael Rakes back there taking some fresh rubber, and with 25 laps to go. So probably pretty prime time to, if you're going to decide to take some new tires, to actually take them.
Yeah, that was discussed earlier in the chat, and I haven't seen it just yet. I thought maybe we'd finally get through a race without seeing the netcode monster, but certainly a big netcode incident. And you mentioned, I'm sure Steve Harris feels bad about getting involved in that one, but it wasn't his fault ultimately. I mean, I don't know how many Legos you could have fit in between the cars. You could probably put, 3 or 4 mega blocks in between those 2 cars before they actually made contact. I mean, it's crazy, and it sucks, and it's one of the things that there's really nothing you can do short of just giving extra room. But yeah, you never know. I mean, these cars have been so close to each other all night long, haven't had any kind of issues, and then all of a sudden, randomly, on lap 73, we have an incident where it's a huge amount of net code in between 2 cars. You never know when it's going to pop up. Luckily, that's the first time we've kind of seen it pop up here tonight. Hopefully it's the first and last, as the last couple of weeks have been just absolutely atrocious. And it could have been the same thing here at Daytona had we had the kind of netcode action that we had the last couple of weeks. Tonight would have been horrendous just as well. So luckily it's kind of stayed away for the most part here tonight. Maybe the servers are playing nice for once. Hopefully they didn't just start burping right now and we have a rough one to the end, because I'm looking forward to a good ending here. We got 24 laps to go here. It'll be 23 when they take the green flag. Still, in my opinion, and I think in Jimmy's as well, it's not go time just yet. There's still plenty of time to settle in, find your partner, figure out where you want to be when you start making that last charge up through the field. But you need to kind of shake free if you have to. If you don't feel the bottom line is where you want to be, you want to get up to that top line, middle line, whatever it is. Haven't seen the 3 wide really come into play just yet, but I think within the next 5 to 10 laps, you'll start seeing some 3 wide for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think it's go time. Obviously, it's not go time, I think, for at least 5 to 6 rows of cars, Carl. But, maybe somebody's sitting in the back. If you've been sitting back there all race, you might want to start getting involved just a little bit and see how far you can actually get through the field. And if you can get up there, it's not, it's a lot of time. But it's a lot of space and cars that you need to pass and set yourself up for success. So maybe if you're in the back of the pack, maybe it's time to maybe start poking and start seeing if you can get a position here, a position there. I mean, obviously you don't want to full send it on the outside and up the wall and cause a ruckus, but you definitely, I think, want to start moving. The drivers up within the top, 10, 12, I think, they're still good until they get right around that 10 lap range, and then, I can start seeing the drivers really starting to push, maybe thinking about 3 wide, making this thing a little bit tighter. And now, since the caution's been out and everybody's all tightened up, they don't have to worry about any lap cars kind of in the way at the moment. The only one sitting in the pits, obviously, Steve Harris, unfortunately, happened to come down there and to get more damage repaired to that car. Probably done here for the night. Unfortunate, as I know this is like one of his favorite tracks and the type of racing, but just did not go his way here tonight. But out front, they're back on the loud pedal. Number 43 leads the way, but a nice run there by number 33 on the outside, kind of solo. So just a really good start there by number 33.
Yeah, but the problem is if he doesn't clear getting there, which he doesn't, he's now susceptible to getting kind of run over here from the rest of the cars. Luckily, 76 closes up on him, but doesn't keep the loud pedal pressed down too hard and kind of woes up there. Now, never mind. The 33 is going to get a good enough run to get in front of the 43. That was interesting, to say the least, but it was clear enough that he's able to slide down. Now the 76 of James Jones getting a clear track in front of him. He is your leader on the outside. You got Tanner McAllister following him. 64 of Paul Helms right behind him as well, but the inside line right now with Ivy, Gettner and Wielden are the ones that are kind of leading the back, leading the train right now. But I don't think we're going to see anyone drop off the back now, Jimmy. Maybe not getting up there racing, getting up there 3 wide just yet, but I don't think anyone wants to drop 2-3 seconds off this back. You got to stay with it right now.
You have to stay with it, unfortunately, and in the back, you're susceptible of, if you're at least the last car, you see smoke and cars going sideways, you can just let off and hit the brakes and not smoke your tires and hopefully be able to survive any kind of wreck. So Wade's kind of in a prime spot at the moment, but if he plans on maybe breaking that top 10 here tonight, he's going to have to start kind of thinking about that outside, that back bumper there, the Michael Riggs maybe, and to see if he can tag along and start working his way through the field and kind of you know, try to get things to work here. So we'll see what Wade decides to do. He's trying to use a little bit of side draft. He doesn't have anybody out there pushing, so he's got to take the run, you know. So this is the hardest spot to be, you know, as far as positions go and trying to make up time. It's a safer spot to be, but you have to take this run. He's getting this huge run. He's got to drive it down in there, hopefully be able to side draft. And a big jump out there by the 3 of Andrew
That's where
Jones.
Will should line up right away.
Definitely you can hear Wade be like, what the heck's going on? And does lift, but you know, not losing the draft. And, you know, these drivers back here got to be careful because you got to take the opportunity, but you don't have anything to fall back on. There's no other line. If you lose the draft, you're done. You're going to fall behind. So Tristan and Wade and Andrew all have to kind of work together now. So we're kind of at that cusp of maybe, you know, seeing that that draft maybe start pulling away here. So they got to be careful on what they do and, you know, whether they want to work with each other or not. Going to have to do that in order to catch up back up to the main pack here. So they're not too far out of it. But up front right now, it is Tanner McAllister at number 17. He is now out front, and 76 of James Jones has now got in front of number 33 of Douglas Ivey, which pulls him back in the 3rd. So that outside line kind of coming to life. We see James Jones going to the outside here, trying to possibly get around the 17 Tanner McAllister. So maybe a little practice moves here for some of the later laps in the race, and they're trying to control and get around a spot. But the 33 of Douglas Ivy's got a huge push there on number 17 Tanner McAllister, but the outside line is coming, starting to get that momentum going. We'll see what kind of push can be provided by the number 64. You can see he's not quite squared up with the 76, so he's got to be careful coming out of the corner. By Casey right there as well, as long with Zay Bierman. And you know, that inside line, when it opens up, it really does seem tempting, but the 76 does fall back down from the 17, keeping that spot here as they come down this front stretch and down in turn number 1.
We're down to under 20 laps to go right now. It looked like the 3 cars on that were off the pace there. Well, they were away from the draft. They got back into it, and luckily they got around this incident here. Big incident with the 70 of Travis Noble, the 62 of Bryson Anderson. See smoking coming out of this one. See the 70 of Travis Noble already up into the wall. Michael Rakes kind of stuck in there right behind him. And then I'm guessing, yeah, right there is where the car let loose and drifted down just a little bit. And our friend Netcode comes in and play there as well. There was a ton of room, and both times in between the 70 and 62 right there, and heavy impact. Luckily, Rakes somehow, for the most part, avoided that entire incident right there. Great driving there from the 18, the 3, and the 21, diving down to the bottom to get out of that one as well, but nothing that the 70 and 62 could do to avoid that one.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go here. So hopefully the 62's got a fast repair here. I'll bring up the tower, see if they got a meatball. I guess there's a couple meatballs on the track here as going to bring it down here. And Travis Noble with the meatball along with Bryson Anderson. So if they do not have a fast repair remaining, their night will be done. And that's why cars like Steve Harris, you know, are still out there. You never know what's going to happen. You know, 34, obviously, being able to get back out there, and if I change this to the gap here, you can see how many laps they're down, and you can see Steve Harris down 12. There's 17 laps to go. So if they were done for the race, you know, Steve Harris would get at least one more position. You know, that's why you kind of keep coming out here and keep coming back, because you never know what's going to happen until you try. So, but James Jones is your leader with Tanner McAllister in second, Douglas Ivey, Patrick Gentner, and Paul Helms for your top 5. Shane Wheeldon, Mike Casey, Jason Chrisman, Zane Bierman, Dale Garner Jr., Billy Rickett, Tony Brennan, Chris Perry, Ken Ewell, Scott Henderson for your top 15. Richard Hartman back there in 16th, Robbie Minor, Scruffy back in 18th at the moment, Easy Hardy back in 19th, Tristan Minor in the 20th, Andrew Jones in 21st, Michael Rakes back there in 22nd, Travis Noble in the pits along with Wade Inyard and Bryson Anderson. So just maybe just getting a little damage repaired still, maybe. I don't know. I thought the 21 of Wade was able to kind of get by there, but maybe we caught something, Carl.
Or maybe just topping off on fuel, and maybe had some bumps and scrapes that he just wanted to take care of while he had some time already in the back of the pack anyway. So gonna have some extra repairs done on that 21 before he gets back out there. But either way, we're gonna have, looks like maybe a little bit less than 15 laps to go here when we get it back going. James Jones is your leader. Tanner McAllister, Douglas Ivey, Patrick Gentner, Paul Helms, Wheeldon, Casey, Crispin, Bierman, and Garner for your top 10. It's kind of an eclectic top 10 compared to where we started. There's definitely some drivers up into that top 10. Look for the first win on the season. We got plenty out there that can grab that first one again. A nice parity with 8 different drivers getting a win here so far through 12 races. But it looks like there's a lot of drivers looking for to be that 9th driver to finally crack through and get a win. I know James Jones a little bit newer here to the series, but certainly no better way to show what you got than getting out here, getting a win in your first season. Tanner McAllister, kind of same deal with him as well. I believe this is his first run with the guys here with 191 Motorsports. I know he's been to a few races this season, but yet to get himself a win here and kind of crack through. But points wise, they're all chasing Mike Casey coming into this one. Casey right now up into that top 10. Billy Rickett second in points, just outside the top 10 in 11th right now. As the pace car lights should be out, indeed they are. We're going to get this thing back underway next time by.
Yeah, another lap here as things are starting to come down to a close. Obviously down to 15 laps remaining, and be 15 long, stressful laps. To be honest, you think the middle of the race is that's the part where you need to stay awake and kind of stay focused to stay off each other. But now, obviously, a little closer racing is going to start happening. You really got to kind of pay attention to their position on the car. If you get to somebody's, right to their back left corner panel, it seems that, and you guys come closing in together, that's usually where the net code kind of happens. Same thing with the back right. So they just have to be very careful coming up on somebody and not being fully along somebody, because when the net code hits on them bumper areas, it's like an automatic, pit maneuver from the cops. It sends you a cop flying through a wall kind of out of control. So definitely don't want to see that here. We'd like to see these drivers be able to kind of get this thing going this time by and be able to run this thing to the green flag and, allow them kind of the opportunity to kind of make moves, but, obviously we know cautions breed cautions. Everybody's all gathered up here, and obviously getting towards the end of the race, people are going to want to make moves, and this is when the patience still has to kind of hold, and you got to sometimes hold that tongue because something might just happen that you're not too happy with.
To get this thing back underway, it'll be 14 laps to go here at Daytona. Again, in my opinion, and Jimmy's, still not go time just yet. But yeah, go ahead and try and tell these drivers that. I'm sure it's going to start getting mighty racy here pretty soon as base car is back in. James Jones back on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at Daytona. Pretty good restart from the field this time. Didn't see any kind of bobbling as quite a breakaway here from the front two as the 33 kind of tuck right in behind the 76. 17 drops down to the inside line. Looks like they got a little bit of a gap. By the time we get to the backstretch, that gap is going to be gone. And you're going to see probably 2 lines start to form again. Patrick Gentner is the one looking to lead that secondary line.
Yeah, inside line kind of got the momentum here early, but the outside line looking pretty good. And you see being joined by 98. Zane Bierman coming up as well. You can see just clearing the number 43, trying to get himself the opportunity to get by Mike Casey. That's who they're, the points, the point leaders are very close together right now, but 3 wide action going on right now. 17 inside there as he's Tanner McAllister's going to get left all alone. Talk about being the new guy, Carl.
Yeah, it looked like he went out there to maybe kind of slow up that outside line and slow up the momentum, and his quote unquote friends from the inside line just said, nah, okay, you went out there, you lost your spot now. Move your feet, lose your seat. So now he's going to have to join the outside line, try to make some new friends as we're back down to two wide racing. It's certainly some drivers still scraping up at that wall, still checking up here and there, but back to 2x2x2 pretty much all throughout the field. Chrisman, your new leader at the front. James Jones still looking to hold down that inside line. Douglas Ivey, Zane Bierman, Patrick Gettner currently your top five.
Yeah, it's kind of an unsettling spot to be. You know, you see that opportunity that you can take it 3 wide. And you're like, well, if I go up there, is the guy going to net code off me, or I'm going to net code off him and spin me around? You know, what's going to happen? And you want to get there. You feel the momentum, and you can see right here being on board number 23 just kind of flying by on the outside there as the inside line had to check up a little bit. They were down on the apron. We got some beating and banging around up there as they're 3 wide right there in front of Robbie Minor. And Robbie Minor's going to join them, but this is the area where you see a lot of things happen. And we are 3 wide going to the tri-oval.
And that is going to be a big one here, as that's going to take out quite a few drivers here. Pretty much the middle of the pack on back. Lots of damage on a lot of cars. You see it right there. Looked like the 53 and the 17 getting together. And we got a lot of torn up race cars.
Yeah, everybody trying to move. I got Paul Helms, Ken Newell, Michael Rakes, Richard Hartman, Tony Brennan, Robbie Miners, Matthew Scarpy Jordan, Richard Hartman, Ken Newell, Tony Brennan, all being involved here, and you've seen some crazy driving, but we'll try to go back and see what happened here. And it happened right off the 53 of Robbie Minor there. Of course, my cameras want to mess up. I don't know why it's been doing that lately. But we'll be back here with the 53. You can see the 53 3 wide with the 17, and they kind of, I don't know if they net coded or what, but see the 53 get off the 17, comes down to the 64. And that's going to send these cars around, and you see the 19 getting involved there. The 34 hits the 53, 65 getting sent in there with nowhere to go. 672, I think maybe skirts around them, but down in the grass. See Ken Newell getting turned around. 64 Paul Helms, 65 there getting a shot, and then you can see everybody else checking up as well. So just trying to, the guys in the back trying to evade this thing and get out of the way, but there's Tristan Minor as well getting involved back there with the 17. Net code off the 3 into the 18, so not good, looking good there for the 18 for a points night. Hopefully things kind of work their way out, and you can see Wade Inyard even coming in here, trying to avoid things here. And you know, thought he was going to go to the outside, but I think the 19 decided to move a little bit. Didn't have enough time to get down to that inside. Here comes Steve Harris, already on a bad race, but locking it up and missing the 19, trying to get around. So plenty of time, drivers, as a caution happens. So let up and just let things go. You want for everybody to catch back up to the field, but few drivers in the pits, Carl.
Go and show that replay again with the caution, everything starting up there. We show it from the cockpit of the 7 of Billy Rickett, because I seen him somehow sneak through that wreck down on the inside right behind Mike Casey, and we talk about 2 of the top drivers this season and all the championship implications. And yeah, if we can rewind that back and show it from Billy Rickett's point of view, you see him right there already just getting by the incident, dropping down on the apron. But it was a split-second decision that he took to get down on the bottom, as did I believe Mike Casey right in front of him. Your 2 points leaders evading the incident here and keeping their championship hopes alive for sure.
So I'll just rewind it down here. No,
you can see right on the board here, you don't see much. You don't see much of anything going on. He's just kind of hanging in right behind Mike Casey right here. And you can see up front, you see the net code. I mean, there's tons of room in between the 53 and 17 there. Make contact, and you see him start to go up there and Rickett, just like Casey. I mean, Casey was right alongside it when it happened, but you see right there, from what you can see along the right side there, just getting by the incident for both the 6 and the 7. I know, haha, but they do make it through the incident here just barely. And it takes one of them out that could literally have taken them out of the points title for the season, as again next week is the season finale in Las Vegas. But for now, they survive and advance.
Yeah, they get by Zane Bierman out there and Pete, number 3 at the moment. If you're worried where the points leaders are kind of at for your top 3, and then obviously Mike Rakes down in the pits. So not a good points night right at the moment. Hopefully he can get out there, get things going again. See him getting down and away here, and hopefully out before he goes a lap down. And might not have that fast repair, Carl, so he's got to do what he can and kind of stop the bleeding here tonight, just in case. Because this thing's not over. We got 8 laps. We're too wide here. We're going to come back around. We'll be at 7 laps to go to get this thing kind of all wrapped up. And cautions breed cautions. Everybody's getting antsy about trying to win this thing and get max points, and especially your points leader, trying to not have a horrible race and to finish up there. But you can see where they're at. All your top 3 point standards are now in the top 10. So they're all doing good. They're all still surviving. But some drivers just need a little luck maybe to get them back up there in the top 5. And I guess worst case scenario, Casey would love to be, right up there, right behind Zane Bierman at least, at minimum, to kind of keep that points battle keep going. But you never know what's going to happen. Zane's there in the inside row, and Mike Casey's on the outside row. There's just so much that can happen with these drivers right now, Carl. We're just not going to know until it comes down to the final lap.
Well, I'm taking a look at that number 23 as well, right behind Billy Rickett. He's another one in the top 5 in the points coming in, and still an outside shot for him to have a chance at this title. And I know his nickname is Scruffy, but tonight I think it's been a bit scrappy. It's a scrappy run for Matthew Jordan in a good way. The fact that he's been through a few incidents here tonight, but he's gotten his car to the end. He's gotten himself a chance at this thing. He's in 11th place here on the restart, and been a bit scrappy to get himself to this point, and still it's a chance, and that's all you need. Just give me a chance, give me a car, give me a chance at the end. But right now, Jason Chrisman is the one that's going to lead him off to the green flag, back on the lap pedal. Great restart on the inside lane, so much so that Mike Case is going to drop down in front of Billy Rickett as we get going here. The inside line looks like it's where the championship leaders want to be. Zane Bierman gets a great run to fall in line right behind the 98 in second. And we got Dale Garner Jr. in third, Douglas Ivey, Mike Casey, Billy Rickett, and James Jones on that inside line. But the outside line, led by Patrick Gentner, already starting to get a little momentum.
Yeah, he's just got to get a few drivers that got to go up there and join him. And he's got the 20 of Shane Wheeldon right there. And now going to be joined there.
Oh my God, it was horrible in that code. Oh my God, and it just took one to kind of start us off here tonight, and all of a sudden the net code is starting to show up more and more here at the end. That was, we've seen it live here. That was horrible. And this one, the 7's not going to be able to avoid, as I'll rewind it here and show you one more time. I mean, Jimmy, this is, I feel like we say it now almost every week to at least one of these incidents. This is god awful.
Look at that.
I mean, that is pathetic right there. I mean, listen, I don't like to run down iRacing unless it's something, really bad. If anyone from iRacing is watching, that is pathetic. And your product should be better than that. There's no excuse for that. That is almost an entire car width in between these two cars. Whether it's these cars being a little bit older in the night, when it comes to, being legacy and everything like that, whether it's Daytona, I don't care what the issue is. I mean, that cannot happen. when you're paying this much for this kind of service, I know this is my rant for the night, but I mean, come on, you're coming down to the end of this thing. You're down to less than 10 laps to go, and that's the kind of crap you have to deal with. That doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and you know, we've mentioned it, you know, and I know the leagues have talked about it, you know, if, you know, whether they're gonna, you know, continue with these cars. They love racing them, and I love seeing them out on the track. They are one of the best handling cars that I've ever had to drive here in iRacing. The fact that they're you know, their legacy is does seem that they tend to have more issues when it comes to netcode and running close together. And this one here wasn't even close together. Like you said, it was almost a whole car. I mean, and to send Billy Rickett out there, it's almost like if they're going to keep running these cars and you get these netcodes, Carl, I mean, what kind of call do you make as a league owner? Like, hey, do we stop running these cars, or do we just make sure there's endless fast repairs? Because that's the only time that you're going to get the opportunity. But then, you know, that's a slugfest. You know, some drivers might take advantage of that. You know, just be like, I'll just send it in there, and if it don't work, I'll just get the car fixed. But and that's what you don't want to have. You want to have good competition out there. You want them to be able to run side by side. And here tonight, it's just that just stinks. I mean, they've gone pretty much the most of the race without this type of thing happening. But they've been pretty patient. They've been staying pretty far apart. They've been kind of knowing that there's an issue. So they got the race pretty much done. But here we are, 5 laps down. Next time by, I'll be 4. And then when we go back to green, we'll be at 3. So it's, you know, this part here is, you know, it's going to be tough. You know, anybody back in there past P number 10 is going to, you know, need those front cars to battle, get some netcode going out to possibly give them this chance to win, you know. But, you know, right now, Jason Prisman, Zane Bierman, not to complain too much. They're up front there, and first and second, Dale Garner Jr. Whether he wants to talk to us or not, he might be back out in the booth anyways, as he's sitting in third. Douglas Ivey sitting up there in fourth, and Michael Casey does make it through there in fifth at the moment. So, you know, Zane kind of leading the pack there for the points chase drivers right at the moment. Shane Wheeldon back there in 6th. James Jones back there in 17th. Scruffy Jordan out there in 8th, and Tony Brennan at 9th. And Scott Henderson right now at the top 10. So see a lot of green on the movement field for the top half of the field currently, and a lot of losers. I should not say losers. Track position losses.
What a pick.
Track position losses tonight for like the second half of the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, every wreck benefits somebody as much as it hurts somebody else. Certainly, this benefits the drivers like Zane Bierman, like Mike Casey. It certainly hurt drivers like Billy Rickett in the back of the field now. It helped out the 53 of Robbie Minor, because he was able to get a lap back still, I believe. One lap down. One lap down. One lap down. Yeah. I thought it was 2 laps per second, but I think he's back to 1 lap down. So one more caution, and Robbie has a chance to get back in the mix here too. But it's just like, if there was side drafting there and something happened, okay, I get it. It sucks, but I mean, there was. I'm not going to get back into it. Wusa.
You already fell off the soapbox.
Captain. I mean, that's just it irritates me. I mean, there's nothing you did, because it's not something the driver should have to deal with at all, ever. Whether it's broadcasted, whether you're out there having fun, whether it's officials, whether it's leagues, anything, you shouldn't have to deal with it. It's certainly not something that we want you out there and Sierra Nation as fans having to deal with. It's not something that we want to deal with on the broadcast. I mean, there's nothing more than what we like to see is green flag racing, and we have a caution for something like that. I mean, that's just dumb. I mean, you know, we all know it.
It almost would have been more entertaining if a driver just went ahead.
And just turn left and just wiped out the field. Exactly. We have something to talk about then. But I mean, to have that right there, it's just it's so sad to see a race like that go under caution because of something like that, and especially taking out 2 competitors that we've seen at the front of the field. We've seen Billy Rickett lead some laps tonight. We've seen Patrick Gentner lead a ton of laps. He was the pole sitter here tonight. But now They're going to have to work their way through the field. It's getting our way back there in 20th. Rickett was able to get back out there in 15th, but you're going to have to drive through the field. And now this is where it brings aggression into play. And this is where it's like, do you want to see another caution or two because drivers getting aggressive? No, but in the same case, you wouldn't even have that caution if iRacing didn't throw it on you. And now it puts you back in the field. But either way, we're back to racing here at Daytona as we're down to just the final 3 laps to go here. So a little bit more than a green-white checkered as the 55 and 33 trying to get a little momentum on the outside as the Jason Christman got that big jump that we don't like drivers to do here because you can get freight trained real easily, but it looks like the 31 is going to stay in line to allow that outside line to kind of catch back up, and it'll be 2 by 2 here very soon.
Yeah, 31 was able to catch up. Mark Casey gave 31 a shot to kind of get him up there and hopefully get that inside line, the momentum he needs to kind of get out in front of the 55 and see the 55 weaving away from the inside line there. And not many cars out there, Carl. He's got to get down there and get that side draft, but I'm sure there's a big part of Zane that's like, I can't get down there too close. That netcode could get me tonight. And right there, see Shane Wheeldon coming down in front of the 65, which was brave. Got that left rear bumper right from the right front bumper of the number 65, but he has a run right now. Going to go to the outside of Michael Casey and the 98. He's now side by side. You got the same Bierman pushing 31. Going to catch up to the 20. Probably give him a shot before the corner, and he does. That's going to push the 20 out to the front here as they head down to turn number 3. 98 and 6 holding strong down on the inside, but trying to keep this thing going as the outside line loses momentum there on the exit of 4. But it does look like the 98 is going to pull to the outside of Shane Wheeldon. That's going to allow Michael Casey to get back up there on the bumper of the 20. Zane Bierman's going to go for a ride. Thought he could catch it.
The white flag is out. There's going to be a huge incident here right after the white flag came out. Big incident, going to take out a few more, but we still got plenty of racing yet to go. We got a whole nother lap because the white flag is out. The next flag is the checkered flag. We're not going to see any more cautions here. Big push there from the 31 to the 98. It's going to stretch them out into a nice little gap. They got to stay tucked in here behind each other. If they can race it out mano a mano out of turn number 4 and not allow anyone else to get back in the mix. See the 65 doing everything he can to get Wheeldon back up there. Big run here, but now 31 going to go to the outside to try and protect 3 wide here at the line, and it's going to go to Jason Christman just barely by 0.05 of a second over Dale Gardner Jr. How about Tony Brennan? You want to talk about a scrappy race? We've seen the 65 involved in quite a bit here tonight. He's going to talk to us on the podium here tonight. Then you got Shane Wheeldon, Matthew Jordan for your top 5, Hardy, Casey, Rickett, Ivy, and Rakes for your top 10. Great bounce back there from Rickett to get up there and only finish right behind Mike Casey. Jordan finishing ahead there is going to help him out with the points. You've seen the incident there with the 55 of Zane Bierman coming to the 1 to go, and that's certainly going to hurt his championship chances. But the win here tonight goes to Jason Christman.
Yeah, we're going to back this thing up here and watch to see what happened. To Zane and the folks up here, we'll jump over to the see, maybe a chopper, maybe pit 1 or TV 1 here. You can see already Zane sideways there. Rewind it just a little bit, and then right here, see what happened is Zane trying to come down, and right there, netcode off the number 65 into the 55 again here at the white flag flowing. Zane trying to hold on to it here, but gets down into the 76, and so unable to, and then Zane gets a little push there in the back, pushes him up in there. Does look like Chris Perry gets involved. 72 gets by if he can save it. He does, and then you look back here at Zane Bierman still just being collected here. A bunch of cars. You see Jones in there in the 364, the 26. Somebody just drove through a car that sets the 17. See Robbie Minor getting involved there as well. So tough break for the end of this race here. Again, off a net code. It was close racing, but I don't know if the net code, without the net code, it might have been able to kind of work through that type of, closeness of racing here, Carl. And again, I think netcode kind of ruined it here tonight for a few of these drivers. And that's really, really unfortunate. But we're going to go ahead and, we'll empty everything out and get this race results up on the screen for everybody here tonight. As your winner is Jason Christmas, so we'll get a chance to talk to number 98 here up on the booth, along with the 31 of Dale Gardner Jr. and Tony Brennan, and number 65. MP number 4 is going to be going to Shane Wheeldon and Matthew Jordan back there in 5th. Heezy Hardy sneaks in there in 6th. And then Michael Casey in 7th. Billy Rickett, obviously you said they're the bounce back up in 8th, right behind Mike. And then Douglas Ivy in 9th. Michael Rakes actually finishing in 10th. Sky Henderson in 11th. Patrick Gentner in 12th. Tristan Miner in 13th. Wade Inyard with a P14 finish there after riding around the back most of the night. Andrew Jones finishing in 15th. Travis Noble in 16th. Tanner McAllister in 17th. James Jones up there in 18th. And then back to the rest of the field here. 19th is going to be Chris Perry. Paul Helms in 20th. Zane Bierman falls all the way down to 21st. Ken Newell in 22nd. Robbie Minor falls all the way down to 23rd. Richard Hartman back in 24th. Steve Harris and finishes 10 laps down. And then Bryson Anderson was out 18 laps. So Steve Harris, with his tenacity to stay out there, was able to gain 1 spot. He was after all those damages. So that's what it's all about. Kind of keep it going. He was able to get 1 position. And no, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a big thing to kind of stay out there and just keep trying to do your best with what you got. And because netcode and other things that happen on the track, was able to gain a spot. So congratulations to all the drivers. 1 more race to go next week. We'll finish this thing up here for the finale and get yourself a series champion. But we're going to get ahead and get in touch with those drivers down on the podium and see how their race was for this 100 lap race at Daytona.
Yeah, I think that the bigger thing for Steve Harris, he only gained 1 position by sticking out there, but he gained track time. He gained a little bit more knowledge out there, gained a little bit more comfortability racing in the pack, racing around the pack, and that goes miles. That goes way further than sticking out there and gaining that 1 position. So definitely, as much as we're talking about Steve here a lot about that. That's what all racers need to have the mentality. If you have an incident, you have net code, screw you over. It doesn't matter. Do your best to get your butt back out there on the track. Get yourself a little bit more experience. You're already there anyway. You're already planning on racing the whole race anyway. So just get back out there. Even if you have no chance of gaining any positions, it's still going to help you in the end. But in the end, we have a top 3 here tonight, and we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. It's going to be the 65 of Tony Brennan. Tony, we've certainly seen that 65 going back and forth, getting involved in a few incidents here tonight. So he's smacking the wall, and it's obvious that you are a 3rd place car here tonight.
I've been back and forth all race. It was last to 3rd, last to 5th. My gosh, what a battle.
I mean, certainly you need probably plenty of dude wipes here tonight to clean yourself up from all the incidents. But I'll be damned. I mean, it certainly helped out. Some of the C's parted for you at the end. You find yourself up there. And now we did see you pushing Shane Wheeldon there at the end with all your might to try and catch that front 2 coming out of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, then I bailed at the last second thinking I could go on the inside of him and try to make a move there.
Well, either way, I mean, after everything that went on here tonight, after how banged up that 65 car was a couple times here tonight, it's got to feel damn good to finish with a podium.
That was really good. That was a heck of a race. I had a good time.
Well, we certainly appreciated the effort out here tonight. Congrats on the podium. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
All my family, you guys, and 191 Motorsports.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the top 3 here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at the season finale.
Alrighty.
That's your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 65 of Tony Brennan. 2nd place here tonight, whether he wants to talk to us or not, is going to be the 31 of Dale Gardner Jr.
Well, I'll talk to you guys. Well, you'll talk to us now, right? Because you're on the podium. I mean, tonight here is obviously, the Daytona race. We know how long it can be and how white knuckle it can be being side by side all night. You guys did a pretty fantastic job, and a few cautions here and there throughout the race, but obviously with everybody getting getting a little more aggressive at the end. Netcode started showing its rear ugly head, but you're able to kind of come out in this thing and walk away with a second place finish. Give us a little run and what kind of strategy you had tonight to make sure you got that 31 to the front.
My strategy is always the same with super speedways. Patience, patience, patience until about 15 to go. Tends to bite me in the butt a little bit because I stay a little too far back. So this race, I came into it with the mindset of qualify good, stay as close to the top 10 as I can, kind of hold the bottom in case a wreck happens. I can dive her down to the apron. Was able to keep myself fairly clean besides that one little bit that happened, but I got no damage out of it. Yeah, just racing good. Got a lucky restart. Me, Zane, and Jason got pulled to the front. Had a run there on Jason on the outside off of 4. Once I got into that left front on the 20, I couldn't get off of him. Kind of killed my run. Closest I've been.
Definitely closer and closer as that 31 works its way up through the field to get on this podium. One more race to go this season. We want to say congratulations and recognize what you're doing out there. And give you a little time for any shouts you might have in at number 31.
Yeah, my wife putting up with my hobby. My mom for watching and cheering me on. You guys, the admins, everybody does a great job. Just out here having fun, whether I win or not, doesn't really matter to me. Finishing the race means I had a good day. So second place is just a bonus.
It's definitely icing on the cake here. One more stop, one more position, you would have had that win. But either way, you had a great night here tonight. So I want to say congratulations. Thank you for the shout outs. I'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, DJ Garner, as Jason Crispin is the one that we get to talk to last here tonight. Jason, you finally cracked through for that win here tonight at Daytona. Get your first win on the season. Given the fact that you had tonight here at Daytona and next week at Vegas, did you feel like you may go win this season, or are you just finally damn happy to get up here?
It took me a while. I got a lot of second place finishes, and y'all know that. Yes. I had too many to count. That was a fun race. I kind of just hung out in the pack. I wasn't trying to push too much. I got involved in the first 2 wrecks, and that was a little bit of a bummer, but I was able to save the fast repair in case. But with about, I think it was 15 to go or something like that, we had a restart and the seas just parted, and I was able to drag Zane and a few other people up there with me, and we were able to overtake on the high line. That's what really set up for the ending there, was I was able to just maintain it up there. And yeah, that was fun. I didn't really know the ending was going to happen there, and just got lucky at the end, honestly.
Well, certainly quite a bit happened right as you guys took the white flag, and then a little bit more on the backstretch. But it allowed DJ to kind of get onto your back bumper, latch on, and start pushing. And I feel like that little tandem right there got you guys out there far enough that there probably wasn't going to be any chance for anyone else to have enough of a run to pass both of you to the end. Were you just kind of hoping, DJ, just stay with me long enough that you don't kind of get to the side of me and pull me back to everybody else?
Yeah, no, I was happy that he stuck with me on the last lap for sure. Coming out of 4, I already knew everyone's going to do it. Even if it's your bestest friend in the world, your mom would do it to you for a win. They're going to pull out and try to get it from you. But honestly, I thought DJ had me there. He got the side draft. He was sucking me back. I told Tony after the race, I was like, I need to write you a love letter now. He gave me that last push right there before the checkered, and that kind of is what kind of sealed the deal there. I know that DJ had the 20 go to his outside as well, and they had a little bit of contact, so that slowed him down. But that was awesome. I had fun racing with everybody. That was probably the most put together super speedway race I've raced in this league. We had a lot of fun out there, and netcode didn't seem to be as bad. I don't want to jinx it, but it wasn't as bad
tonight. Take a look back. Watch your I'll just tell you that. Watch your broadcast. Listen to my little rant, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. You may not have seen it. We've seen it, unfortunately. But what we did get to see is we finally seen that 98 go to victory lane. So congrats on finally cracking through. Better late than never. Getting your first win. And heck, you still have a chance to go back-to-back to finish this thing out. So take some time and celebrate before we let you go here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
Well, my grandpa, he lives right next door to me. He was watching the entire race, and I got a text on my phone right after that said, "You pulled that one out of your ass, didn't you?" So thank you to him for watching it. You know, anybody who comes out and watches these races, they're the reason we're able to keep doing it. Y'all put on a great show week in, week out. Again, you know, Mike Casey runs this thing. He keeps the ship going. Awesome league. Love it. You know, unfortunate netcode issues recently. We have gotten word from iRacing. They're trying to look into it. I hope they can do it sooner than later. But this is awesome. I hope that this car can continue to keep being used. Any little glitches it has, just hope they work on it. This is a plea to iRacing. Please don't let the Gen 6 car die.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a car that we enjoy broadcasting and watching here up in the booth. And I hate to see it for you guys out there having to deal with it. But you get yourself the win here tonight. We'll see you at Vegas next week for the season finale. See if you can go back to back and finish the season strong.
Hopefully can. Y'all have a great night.
You too, buddy. That is your winner here tonight, the 98 of Jason Chrisman, finally cracking through and getting that first win here in the penultimate race, with Billy Rickett leading a lap and Mike Casey finishing one spot ahead of him. The points lead remains at 8. It is 400 points for Mike Casey, 392 for Billy Rickett. Michael Rakes back there now in third at 381 points, which means we got a heck of a season finale coming up next Sunday night at Las Vegas, and all cards will be on the table for sure. Make sure you tune into that one. We still got plenty of racing this week. This will unfortunately be the only broadcast for me this week. I'm going to enjoy a little time off, a little vacation. John will be up here in the booth with Jimmy for most of the week. We still got the Core O'Reilly series on Tuesday night. We got the doubleheader with CSRL and Pit Road Speed Limit Racing on Wednesday, and Virtual Velocity Racing and Core GT on Thursday night. But for myself and Jimmy from the Daytona International Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.
Green flag drops on a Sunday night, engine screaming, fists up tight. Discord popping, somebody said, get you some before we're dead. Lap 1, chaos, 3 wide deep. Somebody blinks, somebody weeps. Rear view mirror full of smoke. Cut me off, I won't lift. That'll do it, there he goes again. You dive it low, I hold my line. Chrome to chrome at the finish line. One down, one is racing, don't you cry. If you can't hang, move aside. Get you some, hold it wide. Get wrecked, get nut, enjoy the ride. Kick me out, that'll do it. Back to the pits, we all knew it. Sunday night and tempers burning. League race live and we're still 3 wide. You wanna see my dog? Yeah, that eagle on my grill is boss. Talk is cheap when the mic is hot, but back it up when the track gets tight. Slide jumps in from out